welcome to lesson 9 of Algebra 1. This is basically a review lesson. It's not called a review lesson, but you pretty much know all of these facts, so woohoo, that's exciting. All right, we're talking about multiplicative inverses, which is another big word for reciprocals, and we're also talking about order of operations, so easy stuff. All right, every fraction and even every whole number has a reciprocal or multiplicative inverse. Those are basically two terms for the same thing. That's when you flip something upside down. So for example, 2/3, my fraction 2/3. If I want its reciprocal, its multiplicative inverse, then I'm going to flip it. I'm going to put the number that was in the denominator in the numerator, and the number that was in the numerator in the denominator. So the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. The reciprocal of 3/2 is 2/3. -4/11, its reciprocal, you just flip it, is 11/-4. That's its reciprocal. Whole numbers can also have a reciprocal because if you take the fraction 1/4 and you flip it, you get 4 on the top and 1 on the bottom, which we know is the same as 4 because anything divided by 1 is equal to itself. So it's the whole number of 4. So that means to find the reciprocal of 4, it's just you put the 4 in the denominator and you put a 1 on top because you could write 4 as a fraction being 4/1. So then to flip it, 1 on the top, 4 on the bottom. All right, -5, same thing. So -5 on the bottom, 1 on the top. And that's all you do. Now when we have the number 0, think about that when you find the reciprocal of 0. Well, that would be to flip it, to put 1 on the top and 0 on the bottom. But we've already learned, can you divide anything by 0? No, it's meaningless, it's undefined. So 0 is the only number that has no reciprocal. There's no reciprocal for 0. Now another rule that we have is whenever you multiply something by its reciprocal, the answer is always 1, which is going to come in handy very, very soon. So 4/1 times 1/4. Your 4's would cancel, you'd just be left with 1. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 divided by 1 is 1. So anything multiplied by its reciprocal will cancel out and becomes 1. 1/-13, these would all cancel. We have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So in the end, you get +1. So it really doesn't matter what your fractions look like. Anything multiplied by its reciprocal is going to give you 1. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about order of operation. It's been a while. So when I have multiplication, division, subtraction, addition, there's a certain order that I have to go in order to get the right answer. So mathematicians came up with a system that we always follow for the order of how to do our math problems. So remember the word PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. We're only going to focus on the last 4, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, right now, but you know the whole thing. So if I have 4 times 3 plus 2 plus -3 times 5, first I have to start with my multiplication. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2, can't do anything with that 2 yet. I have to do all my multiplication first, plus -3 times 5. Well, that gives me -15. Always remember to respect your negatives, don't get rid of them, or whatever. You have to be careful with them. So now I've gotten rid of all of my multiplication, and I can just add across. 12 plus 2, 14. Plus a -15. Well, remember when we have opposite signs, subtract, so 15 minus 14 is 1. Take the sign of the larger absolute value. -15 has a larger absolute value, so my answer is -1. Oops. All right, let's try another one. -5 times 2 minus 3 plus 6 times 3. Well, -5 times 2, -10. Minus 3, We're not going to do anything with that until we've gotten rid of all of our multiplication. We have to wait until we get rid of all the multiplication. 6 times 3, that's 18. Okay, now I have no more multiplication or division, so I'm going to add or subtract from left to right. Negative 10 minus 3, same as adding a negative 3, so it's negative 13 plus 18. Opposite sign, so I subtract. 18 minus 13 is 5. 18 has the larger absolute value, so it's positive 5. Okay, 4 times 3 minus 2 times 5 plus 6 minus 5 times 2. Once again, I have to start by doing all of my multiplication. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 2 times 5 is 10, plus 6 minus 5 times 2 is 10. Sorry, I got a little squish with my other problem over here. Okay, 12 minus 10 is 2, plus 6 minus 10. 2 plus 6 is 8, minus 10 is negative 2. All right, and the last one before your practice. 4 minus 3 times 5 minus 7 times negative 6 minus 4 times negative 5. I know you may not be able to see this very well because of the color. Hopefully you can. All right, with this one, I just want to point out that you want to be careful to make sure that you are multiplying where you're supposed to multiply and add where you're supposed to add. Remember that if you don't see if you don't see a plus sign or a minus sign in between your numbers, that means you're multiplying. So I'm multiplying right here, and right here, because there's no addition or subtraction sign. So I have 4 minus 3 times 5. Let's start there. 3 times 5 we know is 15. Oops. Minus, now I have 7 times negative 6. Negative 42. Minus 4 times negative 5, negative 20. Now I can do all of my adding and subtracting from left to right. 4 minus 15 I know is what? Negative 11. Minus a negative 42. That's the same as adding 42. So negative 11 plus 42 is 31. Minus a negative 20, that's the same as adding 20. So that gives me a total of 51 as my answer. Okay? Pause now and do your practice. Okay, you should be back. Letter A is negative 102. Negative 102. You did your multiplication of 6 times 3 first, then 4 times 5 times 6, then you subtract it. B is 3. You should have multiplied 4 times negative 5 first, and 3 times 10 first, and then subtracted. Letter C is undefined because your denominator is 10 minus negative 5 times negative 2. Negative 5 times negative 2 will be positive 10, so you have 10 minus 10, which is 0, and anything divided by 0 is undefined. Letter D is negative 6 over 5. We needed to make sure that you reduced this one. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.